Good morning, late morning that is here in the Pacific Northwest. I hope you guys are doing okay. I'm here relatively on time and I honestly don't really have much in terms of updates for you guys, so I'm just going to open up my flute and get started. Life is kind of starting to become a little bit more boring again, which is really nice. So the types of things that are on my mind is just, kind of typical stuff. Like, I want to remind you guys that I will be at the National Flute Convention August 1st to 4th. In particular, I will be at the Flute Center booth on Saturday, August 3rd at 3 p.m. and Sunday, August 4th at 11 a.m. for 2 hours each time for a shop with Just Another Flutist meet and greet extravaganza with you guys. So that's what's on my mind. The other thing that's on my mind is really nerdy things, hand position things. I'm not entirely ready to talk about it yet. One of you guys knows about it in the chat here, so don't say anything, okay? Don't say anything, but I am thinking about it, and things are in motion to investigate. But it is all very nerdy things to do with my hand position and stuff like that. Mostly I am thinking about the fact that I really want to be able to have the ability to perform the Ibert flute concerto with really good stamina, with really good, I want to be able to get through the entire concerto comfortably. And there are some physical limits that I am encountering. I really do believe that it is because of how small I am compared to the flute. So, there are some physical limitations that I am encountering. And so I am trying to find physical changes that I can make. So that is in motion right now, and that's what's on my mind. So as I am working through the Ibert concerto, like yesterday, I just didn't really talk about the fact that I was thinking about that. I figured that I should at least tell you guys that it's on my mind, but I just can't really talk about it yet because it might turn into sort of like a future video, live stream series. So we shall see what happens with that. But just so you guys know, that is on my mind right now. The issue of physical hand stamina in the Ibert is on my mind. So I thought I would just let you guys know that's what I'm thinking about. Really nice and nerdy things. So anyway, that's me right now. How about you guys? Hello, Chi Eduardo. You are also early. Yes. Pauline, hello. Phantom, hello. Flutes are yummy. Hello. So let's see. Is it still the Genshin Impact theme in the intro? It is. That is the theme for Fontaine, one of the regions in Genshin Impact. Who knew boring life was nice? I know. I used to think when I was young that, who would want to have a boring life? But if you've had enough things happen to you, all right, if you've had enough high highs and low lows, honestly, the boring life is very appealing. And when the boring life comes to you, it's very temporary. Any adult that I've ever talked to agrees with me that that boring chapter of your life only lasts about 3 to 4 months. And then life will throw you the next thing that you have to deal with. There you go. So, Jorge, hello. So let's see. For international trials. So flutes are yummy. The Flute Center only does domestic trials, so within the US. And the reason for that is because the import duties and stuff like that gets very dicey over a country border. If you've never had to deal with it before, just know that there's a lot of forms to fill out. There are a lot of things you have to declare. And the weirdest thing too is that for a trial, it doesn't guarantee a sale. So just to give you an idea of kind of some of, how expensive it can be, I'm just going to straight up put it out there. I don't think that I need to hide the numbers. So when my family first purchased this flute that you see on my desk here, it was 20,000 USD. It is actually worth more now due to the price of gold going up. But yeah, it was 20K at the time that we purchased it. And when it arrived at our doorstep, we had to pay import duties because it was declared across the border. We were importing it from the States. I lived in Canada at the time, and the import duties cost about 2,000. I believe at that time it was 2,000 Canadian. But yeah, it was very, very steep. The person who delivered the flute to our doorstep, they were the ones who had all the documentation, and we had to actually pay through them. And the lady actually asked us if we were sure if the decimal place was in the correct spot, because she had never heard of a flute costing that much. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys, flutes are yummy. I wanted to give you a very realistic, view of how expensive it can be. So, my suggestion for folks who are across country borders from the Flute Center, if you do want to order something from the Flute Center, I have had a lot of people message me and tell me that, okay, I don't mean to toot my own horn, okay, but I have had many people message me and say that my reviews are pretty on point. So you can use my reviews as essentially virtual trials. One thing that you can do though is visit, various, if there are festivals near you, go visit a festival near you to see what you can try locally. If you are in the UK or near the UK, there are two really big flute distributors in the UK. I believe it's JustFlutist and All Flutes Plus, I believe it's called. So they're across the pond from here in the States. They're the ones that are very well known in the UK. So if you happen to be there, that would be a great place to go. And then you have your various flute manufacturers, flute brands, flute companies that are all around Europe. You've got quite a few in Japan. So you have a lot of Japanese flutes and stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah. You can, yes, you're right. You can also buy directly from the company, Chi Eduardo. That's what I was getting at. Yep. So, Ryan, hi. How are you? Hello, Jackie. How are you? Is it not easier to travel to the US with a visa? It's not that easy, man. Well, first you have to make sure you have a valid passport. And then if you make that large of a purchase within the US and bring it back with you, I am of the opinion that it is always the best policy to just declare it across the border. So when you bring a flute over, just declare the flute and declare the price, and they will probably make you pay import duties. Better to just pay the import duties, just budget that within your budget. and then have that documentation that proves that you have legally imported your flute into your country. I am of the opinion that you should just budget the import duties into your flute shopping budget if you decide to purchase across the country border. So you're in Australia. From what I hear, I have a couple of students in Australia, or had a couple of students in Australia. My understanding is that there are flute distributors in Australia. So I don't know who they are though. So you might need to go and take a look. Like I have students in Australia with great flutes. So my understanding is that there is a distributor there. Go in. You might literally want to Google flute distributor in Australia. Like that's actually what you're looking for. But yeah. So Jackie, you're doing well. Excellent. I'm really happy to hear that. Yeah, I'm not as buzzed as yesterday. I did have a black tea just now, so I kind of have a pleasant hum, I would say. In terms of my energy levels right now. Definitely not the same buzz as yesterday. I think I am actually making myself more sensitive to coffee by only having it once or twice a week. I think the next time I'm allowing myself to have a full latte will be on Saturday. That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to keep my coffee quota for the weekends when I can relax and stuff. You're gonna go do that now. Flutes are yummy. Okay, great. And we're all nerds here, so let us know if you find something interesting. Just pop it in the chat and let us know. I always find it really fun to just kind of hear how things work in other parts of the world. So Saturday 2 a.m. is that when I'm gonna drink my latte? Okay, let's bring our desk up. Let's start practicing. I have all of my music out, pretty much ready to go. So I definitely should. Yes, of course. Hello, Ryan's cousin. How are you doing? Yeah, and I mean this live stream is public, so anyone can join. The only people that will end up being banned are people who say very inappropriate things or do very inappropriate things, or people who repeatedly do not follow the chat rules. So if you guys don't know, I do have chat rules, and they are in the description underneath every single stream. So I have had to kind of flesh them out a little bit as we have streamed. I think the chat rules have been doing really well though, because personally I feel that the chat is a really fun, lively place right now, and it's a safe place as well. So, yeah. Okay. You feel you're one of, no. I have had some actual incredibly inappropriate people in the chat, but I tend to just not really pay them much mind. I just ban them and then just ignore them. Don't feed the trolls. That is the thing. If you ever want to become a content creator, you need to get really good at not feeding the trolls. So, no, you're not off topic. I mean, we were talking about coffee, so you're talking about coffee. Yeah, off topic is when everyone is talking about something and then someone just kind of inserts and goes, hey, can you play blah, blah, blah? You know what I mean? That's really disruptive. Hey, Michael, how are you? Oh, flutes are yummy. You found a gold Trevor James for 2K Australian dollars? Sounds like you were finding someplace. Okay, let's get started practicing. Let me switch out my ring. I've been trying to get in the habit of doing that. So this is my actual wedding ring. But I have a silicone ring on my desk here. I really should have a little dish for it. I still don't have a dish for it. But yeah, so this allows me to still look married while playing the flute. Oh, you just remembered the company. What's the name of the company? Flutes are yummy. Yeah. Some flute are, wait, yellow paper music? I don't know what you're talking about, Chiedoardo. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Oh, wonderful, Michael. So the Flute Center provides the anything I want to review. There will still be actual sponsored reviews, and those ones are essentially going to be campaigns. So that we just kind of swapped out how we do things. So these days I actually have more leeway to review anything I want. It's a great thing. And we're doing other projects that are full on sponsored by the Flute Center. One of those projects is showing up at the NFA. There you go. I hope that cleared that up. Can you put the link? Can you put the name of the, just type out the name of the company. And then we can, people can look it up themselves. I've restricted the ability to put links in the chat to moderators only. So, and this is really, again, it's just one of those things to just not tempt trolls. That's all. Flutes and flutists. Okay, thank you. Perfect. Let's see. Oh, okay. So old classical music has yellowish paper. From what I understand, it's just that the paper is old. That's all. So for example, if you are looking at the Della Sonorite here, and you're looking at the link that I think I provided in the video description, you'll see that it is yellow paper. It's just old. Paper yellows. I'm unsure how old you are, but if you if you're not familiar with like old books, paper tends to age and yellow. So like you can kind of see the edges of this. I don't know if you can tell in the light. I think you can. Do you see how the edges are yellow, but the inside is still white? Yeah. So I have some really old ones. Yeah, I have a really old one here. So it never really occurred to me, actually, like, thank you for bringing this up, but it never really occurred to me that, like, if you're unused to using hard copies of everything, I guess you wouldn't know that paper ages. So this is a very old one that I picked up. You can see how brown the edges are, right? And then the inside, you can see that it's yellowing, right? Yeah. So, I do understand though, Pauline made a good point that like sometimes like if you just use straight up yellow paper, it's easier on the eyes. Yeah, that's true. But like if you're looking at stuff online of like old music and it's yellow, it's really just because the paper is old when they scanned it. Yeah. Yeah. Where did I get that? That I believe was from what I recall, my music school was getting rid of some old books from their library. So I just snatched up a bunch for fun. Natasha, hello. How are you? Interesting, Natasha. So when they used to use ditto machines, sometimes they would put a yellow newsprint. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Vintage. Hashtag vintage, Ryan says. Exactly. Yeah, yellow is good for dyslexia. I didn't know that. I just knew that it's easier on the eyes. Interesting. Hello, Sean. Good morning. How are you doing? Purple ink. I don't remember. I think I might be too young for that. Hey, hello, Fethmas. How are you? Fethmas is a friend in real life. How are you? Oh man, this is so funny. Okay, so Chiedardo, if you want to get some old music, you want to go to a secondhand bookstore. So, or like you want to go to, yeah, I think it's mostly secondhand bookstores is where you're going to find it. So like, it's going to be kind of hit and miss though, in terms of like purchasing old music. The other place to purchase really old music is eBay. So you want to look for people selling boxes of old music. So you will see this fairly regularly, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you're looking at it. Some people have quit the flute for a really long time, and so they finally decide to just sell all of their old music from a long time ago. So sometimes you will be able to buy like boxes of music. Of like just flute music. I've had a couple of students do this actually. They just obtained someone else's flute library and it has a bunch of these old, old sheet music. And then you could be like me and take advantage of music libraries, getting rid of their old stuff. Sometimes libraries will also sell their older materials that they notice that a lot of people are not, really looking at. So, this is another really old book, and A Word or Two on the Flute by W.N. James. It was really funny. This was written in 1826, I believe. Clearly, this is a much newer copy. This is not from 200 years ago, okay? But it is pretty old, though. Like, it has, like, old book smell. And this one I had... because I just read the bit on double tonguing randomly. I picked this up in my music school's library one time when I was just browsing. And I was like, oh, wow, this book is from 1826. I should see, like, at that point, the flute had just come out. Like the modern metal flute had just come out, It was like new fandangled music instrument that people were like, what is this, like, abomination of a flute? So, people were arguing over like what makes good flute playing now. So this dude, W.N. James, he like put out this like treatise, A Word or Two on the Flute. And I just like, I was skimming through it and I was like, oh, I wonder what he says, about like different things. And so he had a whole section that was titled on, is it on articulation? Is that right? Let me look up. Yeah, on articulation. So 121. So I have read this out loud before. I've done a few dramatic readings of this, but since we're here, I'll do another dramatic reading of this. On articulation. The double tonguing used to be of high consideration among flute players, but with all possible deference to the eminent masters who still use it, I am of opinion that in this age of refinement, it ought to be entirely exploded. It is, in every point, view it which way we will, a trick of execution, which has as much of quackery in it as any of the wonderful nostrums, which have for their object the renovation of human life. It is also a false and bad articulation, and however well it might have served the purpose of old masters, when the flute was, as it were, an instrument full of quackeries, it is certainly unworthy the professors of the present age and of the great perfection to which the instrument is now brought. So this guy hated double tonguing. I don't know if you can tell. And I just thought that was the most hilarious thing to read when I was like, I don't know, second or third year in university. So I hogged this book from the library all the way up until I had to graduate and had to give it back. And then I spent years searching online for a used copy of this. Finally found it, I want to say maybe 6 years ago now, something like that. So I finally found this being sold. I believe it was through abebooks.com. So abebooks is another great book reseller. A lot of like libraries will put their books up, their old books up for sale on abebooks. So I believe this was actually from a different library. That's what I believe happened. So yeah, I finally got my own copy 6 years ago, 6-ish, something like that. I remember I got it before I moved. So yeah, and I moved about 5-ish years ago. So yeah, some music you can't even play without double tonguing. I know, right, Jackie? So like clearly this was written when the modern flute first came out. So there were definitely some views back then that are not applicable 200 years later, you know? So like it's pretty funny, you know? I really enjoy having books like this, like really old books like this. So yeah, like if you want your old books, eBay, Abe Books, so Abe as in ABE books, abebooks.com. You know, like honestly straight up look in Facebook Marketplace, see if anyone's selling their flute library. You know, secondhand bookstores, that type of thing. Natasha, you kind of hate it too. Yeah. You're desperately searching for a copy of Elena Duran's French Flute, published in 1980. The only thing you regret giving away. Oh, I feel it. Like this book took me years to find. Absolute years. And I just always felt like my library was, my tiny library, but my library nonetheless, was missing it, you know, just because I really enjoy doing a dramatic reading of that paragraph every now and then. Lee Pearson has been selling off her music collection. Well, go take a look. Go take a look, guys. Yeah. Estate sales, Phantom is saying. Yep, estate sales also very good. Oh no, stream is broken, but you got the audio effect missed? Oh. It's okay for the rest of you guys, right? Yep. So the rest of you guys also saying eBay. Yep. So Flute Ceremony is asking, what's the difference between gold and copper? Gold, copper I think is always some sort of alloy, but they are two different metals. If you're asking in terms of what they do in terms of flute playing of them, gold gives you a very mellow sound. It also causes your airstream to be very circular in order to kind of make it ring. Copper allows you to essentially be a little bit of a, you know, like a chameleon. You can be a sort of a tone color chameleon. So people either love it or hate it. Because copper, essentially, the presence of copper, in my experience, makes it so that you as the player can dictate what tone color you want. So you have like a large tone color palette. Some people find it really annoying because they would rather that the flute establishes a tone color palette already, and then they can just like, you know, like play with like how the tone color palette that the flute already like dictates. Those people will find that when they play copper, it's almost as if they cannot find the center. They can't find like where the flute wants to sit. I've even have had people try and like tune to me and have complained that they can't find where I'm sitting either. So, but it always works the other way around. So if I tune to other people, or if I blend in with other people, as someone who is playing rose gold, which is both gold and copper mixed in together, people love it when I blend in with them, but they don't like trying to blend in with me. I'm the blender. Like I am the chameleon, you know. It's really hard to match yourself to a chameleon, you know. So I think that's probably what you're actually asking about, Flutes Are Yummy. So I hope that answers that. Yeah. The flute you thought was gold is copper. Oh, you're probably looking at this then. It's my backup flute. So my backup flute is the Copper Alloy by Trevor James. And it's really because I feel like this is a backup version of my my professional flute. Like if this existed when I was in university, I would have absolutely pounced on it. So there you go. This is my old head joint though that went with my Brannon. So I just put it in here. The original head joint is in a different head joint case. It's in this one. Yeah, this is the Trevor James copper head joint. Yeah, so I actually own this one as my backup. Yeah. I personally really like it because I'm a chameleon. I have had several students try this flute, and because they're, you know, it's fairly affordable in terms of like the make of the flute. It is a very good price. So a lot of people like trying it just to see if it works for them. And generally speaking, if you like to be the one who likes to play with different tone colors and you like to be the one establishing a tone color, copper will yield to you. However, other people are just like, they feel like they just cannot find the center of the sound in copper. So you either love it or hate it for exactly the same reason. And I am one of those people who loves it for that reason. Did I retire the Mateki? Technically, yes. But one of these days I want to pay for a full overhaul of it. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I did. I did actually buy the Trevor James copper. I did. Sounds more like a personality issue than a flute issue. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh, Fethmas, you got it to work. Yay. Hi. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, hello, Jacob. Welcome to the stream. You were introduced to my stuff when I first uploaded Teaching My Mom the Flute videos. Now you're an upcoming senior at your university for music performance. Oh my God, that is insane. I hope you're enjoying your degree. I hope that, you know, that you've made amazing memories and you've learned a lot, and that I really hope that this has been a positive experience for you. Thank you so much for telling me that. That is so freaking sweet. That actually reminds me of a talk that I did in April, literally the day before I left for Singapore. I didn't tell any of you guys this because, well, I mean, nothing really, like, there was no topic that was really brought up to kind of, you know, make that come up in conversation. But this reminds me of it. I did a talk. I was invited to do a virtual talk with a group of flute students. I believe I wanted to say it was Florida. I think it was Florida. And it was a very similar type of thing. A lot of them have been watching my videos since they were in like middle school, and they are in their degrees now in university. That does not actually surprise me because I have been making videos for more than 10 years. So if you've been watching my stuff from like 10 years ago, even from when I was like just starting to date John, because I was actually making videos from before that as well. So yeah, I don't have a lot of like, I don't have like a huge following, as huge as a lot of other YouTubers do, but I think within this flute niche, it's pretty respectable, I think. But yeah, I've been making videos and content for a really long time, and it's incredibly rewarding to see that my little corner of the internet does have a positive effect on other people and does inspire other people. So thank you so much for coming back to tell me that, because it makes this all worth it. Thank you. Yes, Sean, I'm going to NFA. Oh, you're missing out this year. Okay. Maybe overwhelming, but awesome. That's exactly what I'm expecting. Yes. Jackie, you've watched me since middle school? Oh my. Oh gosh. Okay, laters, guys. That is laters, Ryan. Ryan and your cousin, hello and goodbye. Thank you so much for dropping by. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You guys are so sweet. Okay, I really need to start practicing. So let's start practicing, but you guys can keep talking. Have fun. Do your thing. Let's practice. Here we go. Oh. Shedding hair. A little tight today. Okay, so the curious thing today is I'm definitely having more trouble in the low notes than I am in the high notes. So I wonder if I'm also not like lowering the area where I'm resonating the note. Like it might not be low enough in the mouth, I think. So I'm gonna try that, just the lower bits again. Yeah, I'm right. So I think my Airstream is riding pretty high today, which is fine. It is what it is. Like it kind of goes up and down. You guys will probably notice this about yourself too, if you kind of pay attention to like why some days you sound different than on other days. At least for me, I noticed that my Airstream will tend to kind of want to ride high or ride lower depending on the day. So that's actually one of the reasons why I tend to kind of like chat with you guys a little bit before I start practicing, because it kind of helps me figure out how I'm feeling, and I can usually relate that to what I'm physically doing as well. Generally speaking, if I am more stressed, or like yesterday I'm more buzzed, then my airstream tends to ride pretty low, which was the case yesterday. Those high notes were kind of sitting a little higher than I thought they should be. Today, I think I'm a little bit more mellowed out. And so I think, today I'm actually riding high. Yeah. Because I'm more mellowed out. That's it. So yesterday I was more buzzed, so everything was kind of squashed down. And then today I'm a little bit more mellowed out. So I think I'm like thinking a little bit lighter. And so things are kind of like, I think, riding a little high. So that's kind of what we're working with today. So I will keep that in mind for these fullness of tone exercises in Moyse de la Sonorite. Let's do this. Good question, Chiodardo. So the overture, I believe, is the first movement. The Badinnery is one of the last movements, if not the second to last. I can't remember if it's second to last or last movement, because the entire suite is an orchestral suite. And a suite usually means that it's a collection of smaller pieces or smaller movements. So there you go. Yeah, the last one. Okay, so I did remember correctly. Yeah. So the overture is the first movement. Yeah. Do they sell them separately? Well, the thing is, Badinnery is probably the most popular one, so that one is sold separately the most. If you're going to find the rest of them, they're usually, it's just, if you buy the orchestral suite number 2, you will just get all movements slapped right together. So, yeah. And also, it's on public domain, so you can just go to IMSLP and like download it. It's also on flutetunes.com. In flutetunes.com, it is in, every movement is in a different link. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it says under the title, the overture, because the overture is the first movement. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. Okay, definitely was starting to overblow the last one because I could hear the upper harmonic peeking through. I think I have to also remember to keep the vibrato less wah-wah the lower I go. Generally speaking, your vibrato needs to be shallower on lower notes because the ear picks it up more easily. And for the opposite reason, it needs to be deeper on higher notes because the ear just doesn't pick it up as easily when the notes are that high pitched. So I think I was overdoing the vibrato a bit there. But anyway, we do the higher ones now. Oh, that one is hard to do because I have to get it to ping right from the beginning, but also keep it really soft. Okay, so weirdly enough, it was easier to ping the high A sharp soft. So I want to go back to the F sharp. Okay, yeah, it needs to be a little bit more forward. The high G harmonic is, when fingering low C, is the problem harmonic on this flute. So anytime you find the problem harmonic on your flute, you have to just kind of like resonate the note a little bit more forward than you think it needs to be. I don't know why it works. It doesn't matter what your problem harmonic is, but all the notes around that area have to be a little bit more forward in order for them to like ping like that. So for me, those notes happen to be high F sharp to high A. All of those notes have to be just a little bit more forward than I think they should be. It still throws me for a loop. Like you would think that I would know it by now, but it still kind of throws me for a loop. And also I think it has to do with the fact that your airstream kind of wants to sit in different parts of your mouth depending on which day it is. So it could be that just for today, I might be like trying a little bit too hard to keep it up rather than keeping it more forward. So I think that's what's happening to me today, which is good to know. We will keep that in mind for the rest of the session. So we're going to do a little bit of circular breathing, just a bit. So yeah, as Sean is saying, the high A on a Brannon, I find it wants to resonate more forward than you think it should. It's very weird. Like it goes forward instead of going further up and back the way that you would expect it to. Yeah. Oh, flutes are yummy. Did you tell your parents how much that Trevor James flute cost? Yeah, sticker shock, right? My parents also had sticker shock as well. So my flute teacher told them that I needed to upgrade my flute. And so she found the Mateki, and then told my parents that it cost $2,000. And my dad right about fell off his chair. So yeah, sticker shock is real. If you don't know how much flutes cost, it can be real. Like, it's kind of like when people go into wedding dress shopping, not realizing how expensive these dresses can get. For example, my wedding dress was part of a samples show. So it was already marked down because it was one of those dresses that are used by brides trying different styles on. And it had been tried on several times, but was finally being sold off. So yeah, like the fact, I think I ended up getting my dress for about $800, I think it was. And that I already thought was a steal. It was already a steal. You know, because, but it wasn't just that though. I also had to pay for tailoring. So the tailoring was another couple $100, I think. And I had another dress. I had a reception dress that was only $65 because I just got it online from China. And that thing cost me an extra $300 in tailoring. So that dress was actually just $400 basically. So like a lot of people just have no idea that like that is actually considered cheap. That is considered cheap, like the $800 plus whatever $200, $300 that I paid, maybe more. I think I might have paid $400 or $500 in tailoring. So like I think that dress ended up costing me about $1,200, something like that, and then plus another about $400 for my other dress. So $1,600 for two dresses is considered a steal with tailoring and all that stuff, and that shocks a lot of people. You know, the sticker shock is real. You know, you know, when I was younger, I had no idea how much cars cost. The sticker shock is real. You know, so like there are a lot of these things that are made with a lot of like wedding dresses are very delicate and they have a lot of parts, and you know, the skill that it makes to make a wedding dress is very, very high, and therefore the labor costs to create the wedding dress and also for the tailoring are very, very high. It's basically the same thing on for flutes. The labor costs are very high, especially if you're going to get something that is made very, very well, handmade, etc. The cost of the materials as well is can be also very, very high because these are precious metals. And yeah, like if anything, I would tell people to compare getting a flute to getting a car. Yeah, you know, like getting a $2,000 car is a steal, right? You know what I mean? So yeah, but yeah, a lot of people do not know that flutes can be compared to cars. That's the thing. That's where the sticker shock comes from, you know. Yep. As Sean is saying, over the years, a decent car and a decent flute are usually about the same price. Exactly. Yep. I got this flute before I got a car, and then I ended up just giving my car back to my dad because I work from home. So, yeah. Yeah, use the Apple price differentiation strategy. Show them a high-end flute first. The Trevor James will seem more affordable. Exactly. Like my flute is $20K. or was. It's higher now. Jackie, people think it's crazy how much yours was, and you tell them you got it pre-owned. Exactly. My Miteki was also pre-owned. Yeah. Yep. So, flutes are yummy. We feel it. Everyone here understands the sticker shock. So, like, we don't want to poo-poo your parents, okay? Your parents are very valid feelings to feel the sticker shock, okay? Extremely valid. My own parents felt it as well. I also felt it. It was quite the shock to realize that purchasing a flute is basically purchasing a car. Yeah. Jackie, you inherited your car, so you spent more on your flute. Me too. We spent more on my flute than on a car. Yep, exactly. As Sean is saying, they also both need routine scheduled maintenance. Exactly. Yeah. There you go, right? You got to save up, as Chiedardo did, right? Yeah, it's a hard check to write. Yep, exactly. So, guys, I don't want to encourage any of you guys to poo-poo people who have sticker shock when it comes to flute prices, because in all honesty, it is completely understandable. And it is a shock. Like, this little thing can cost as much as a car. Yes, sometimes more than a car, depending on the car that you are comparing it to. So, this is kind of what happens when you're working with precious metals and with very, very hands-on, trained, highly trained labor, essentially. This is highly trained skill. So, you're not just paying for the precious metals, you are also paying for the craftsmanship. That high level of craftsmanship is, not that widespread, Yeah. An investment for yourself. There you go. Yeah, that's what my husband told me too. He was the one who really got me to pull the plug to purchase my Nagahara Mini, because he was like, come on, Joe, like, you do this for a living. You need to have a proper piccolo. And I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah. And then you look at piccolos and they're the same price as flutes. I know. What a shock, man. Yeah, I don't really want to be one of those people that's like, it's super like, excuse my language, but like hard ass on people for like feeling sticker shock. Like, I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair to like look at someone experiencing sticker shock and be like, well, sucks to suck, because like, I think it's fair to feel the sticker shock. I think it's absolutely fair, like, because maybe they were thinking, like, especially if it's your parents, right? Maybe they're thinking, yes, we shall support our child, we shall support our child to do whatever they want. Okay. Like, essentially, I'm telling you what my parents were thinking. So my parents were like, we shall support Joe with her flute thing. Right. And then my teacher comes in and says, it's $2,000 to upgrade. And they're like, that was not in the family budget. What do we do now? So like the sticker shock is more than just sticker shock, especially when it comes to parents experiencing sticker shock. What's really going on in the parent's mind is, oh shoot, is this something that I cannot keep up with to help support my child? So it's not necessarily that they don't want to buy it for you. It's like, especially if they're experiencing sticker shock, that was not in their budget. That is probably why they're experiencing sticker shock. Like, you have to really understand that as adults, you have to work with a budget, right? Because you have monthly expenses, in order to live. Okay. So whether that be a mortgage or rent, phone bill, internet bill, like everything, like electricity, appliances breaking down. And so you have to get them fixed, the motherboard on your computer dying. So you have to get a new one, like there are expenses that happen randomly, but also monthly recurring expenses. So you also have to make sure that your income can support all of that, right? It's whatever is left over that's what you can put towards buying, an instrument to support your child, right? So like, I know that as a kid, I didn't realize that there were all these monthly expenses. Like my parents I think they didn't realize they should tell me. And so I just didn't know, like as like 10, 12-year-old, something like that. Like I had no idea that there were these like monthly expenses. And I didn't know how expensive they were. So like, to me, I was like, what, you don't have $2,000 sitting around? And it's like, no, you don't. That's something that you have to like budget to save up for, and like put it away to save up for little by little as you get your bi-weekly or monthly check, and then you pay off your other bills, and then you have a little bit left over, and then you save that, So yeah, like this is all stuff that I kind of wish was like very blatantly explained to me by not my parents, actually. Because I'm sure that if my parents were the ones saying it to me, I'd be like, you're just making excuses. Like I'm really sure I would have had that attitude, which is probably why they just didn't tell me. But now I'm an adult and I know what these expenses are, So, I'm now being that third person outside of your bubble of life telling you that this is how it actually works, and that's where the sticker shock is coming from. The sticker shock is not coming from the fact that it's just expensive. It's also like the behind the scenes is in their brains. They're like, is this a hobby we can keep up with to support them? Is this going to turn into the career? How are they ever going to afford this type of thing as it gets more and more expensive in the future? Like blah, 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 blah. Are we holding them back? If we're going to hold them back by not getting them like a good enough instrument, is this hobby or career even worth it to pursue? Blah, blah, blah. Like, this is what parents think about. And now I'm curious if there are any parents watching this, if you agree. Adulting is rough. Exactly, Lilac. Hello, how are you? You've been focusing on how far your riser is from your aperture. You feel like you truly sing now. Yay! So Flute started on me, you're just going to save up and buy. Yes, yes, yes. Support. I support that. I support that, you save up money and you buy it on your own. Because knowing that you saved up and bought it on your own is amazing. I did the same thing for my first MacBook Pro. It was $2,000. And I made my own money, saved up and bought it. And then like I made all of my early videos on that thing. Yeah. So there you go. So what we were talking about sticker shock so much that Flutes Are Yummy's stream crashed. Yeah. So Maria is asking, how long can you play until it's too broken to be repaired? You need to take your flute in for, at the very least, an annual maintenance. It is a car. It's basically a car, okay? You have to keep it in good working order. If you're playing it at least 3 times a week, you absolutely need to take it in once a year. Yeah, it's a car, okay? Yeah, exactly. Flute berries. Jenny, right? You want a new pick head joint. Take a look at Monka. Yes, adulting and parenting is rough. Exactly. Would I ever do a showcase on Trevor James Copper? I think I did. If you look at the Guo bass flute video or the Guo flutes live stream, at the very end, I tacked it on. At the end of that live stream, I tacked on the Trevor James. Yeah. Which, Eduardo, your parents make a good point, right? It's what I was just saying earlier, right? Like, they didn't want to commit to buying such an expensive instrument if you were just going to quit, right? So I get it. I understand it from the parents' perspective, okay? Why would you spend thousands of dollars on like a hobby that you can't guarantee if your kid is actually going to continue on with it, right? Like, you have to see it from their perspective too, right? So honestly, I feel like if you like, you know, do summer jobs, do odd jobs here and there to save up money on your own and buy it for yourself, then they can see your drive for it. You're taking initiative. You're the one doing it. You're the one really pushing for this and really like owning this and like taking ownership of your pursuit for this career, for this hobby, right? I find that if you can really demonstrate that you are taking ownership of the pursuit of this love for the flute, that is something that can be supported wholeheartedly, right? But if they can't tell that you are truly taking ownership of this pursuit, why would they drop thousands of dollars that could be spent on something that would truly support you, right? So, which stream? This stream, right? I think you said earlier that your stream crashed. Yeah, see, exactly. When you got to the 2-year mark, they realized you were serious. Exactly. Parents are human. They need to, it needs to be proven to them and demonstrated to them that you're actually serious, you know? Like, they need the hard data. You need to provide hard data for them to like really believe that you're actually into this, right? Because here's the thing, when you have kids, I say this as if I have kids. I don't have kids, okay? But, you know, kids will be like, I want to be a firefighter. I want to be, you know, a fairy princess. And I want to be a farmer. And I want to be, you know, I want to be an actor. I want to be a flutist, right? And like, it's hard for a parent to figure out which one of these like flights of fancy actually is going to stick, right? Like, you need to provide hard data for your parents to actually understand that you're actually serious about this. It's not that they're not believing you on purpose. It's not that they don't believe in you. They just need hard data, you know? So, exactly, right, Eduardo? Exactly. There you go. Do I recommend the Trevor James Cantabile flute? Wow, there's some Trevor James, like, you know, fandom going on here. They're great. Trevor James is great. I believe I actually reviewed the Cantabile. So Silly Willy, if you wanted to take a look at my old reviews, you can go to my channel and search up under my videos. You can search up Trevor James. I think I have a Cantabile up there. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, when I tried the Trevor James. Yeah, that's up. Which stream was that? It's the Guo. So go through my streams. So if you go to the streams tab in my channel, look up Guo. It's at the end of that stream. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening to my parenting rant from not a parent. I clearly have been thinking too much about this. You're welcome, Flutes Are Yummy. And I hope you enjoy that stream. So I'm going to continue. Let's do a little bit more circular breathing. I'm going to take it. It was way better than yesterday. So we will continue with 480 exercises number 79. Oh, I should also update this for next time. We're doing exercise 4. Okay. Here we go. 79. We are doing F sharp major in thirds, full range. Nice. Okay, the weirdest thing happened. By the time I got to the bottom register, for some reason my brain would switch into thinking in flats. So that absolutely messed that up nicely. There were a few times I was visualizing things very well, and so I was like really nice on the just sitting in the rails, having a great time, going through it. And then I would get distracted and then fall off the rails a little bit because I wasn't visualizing things properly. So I'm going to do it one more time, and just the once, no repeat, and just make sure that I am fully visualizing what I am doing the entire time. So I have to just stay focused and in the present. See right there, fell off. Okay, better. Yeah, definitely having like a little bit of like focus issues right now. But that's okay. We did it. So we will let that go. What are we doing tomorrow, or not tomorrow, on Tuesday? Because tomorrow is a special stream. So tomorrow we are reviewing some surprise flutes. Here we go. So let me put this here. What we're doing today is 212. Tomorrow, that is. Tomorrow Tuesday. Okay. So let's just polish movement 3. Okay, let's see how things go. Yep, we're starting from the bottom, making our way up to the top. We're just going to play through it, give a verbal evaluation, and then iron out a few spots if I need it. The big thing is I need to make sure that I am visualizing everything correctly, staying in the present moment, staying focused. Be good. Hey, Pink Kitty, welcome back. How are you? Chi Eduardo, I just saw that you said you befriended the janitor. That's fantastic. I don't know what the world would do without janitors. Okay, they are like the heroes of the modern world. Absolutely. So tomorrow is Thursday. Yes, time zones are weird. Yes, your tomorrow is Friday. My tomorrow is Thursday. Yes, Flutes Are Yummy is talking to us from the future right now. Yeah. It is Wednesday in America. Right now. You guys are cute. Okay. I am going to make my way through the Ibert backwards. Or movement 3, that is. Okay, here we go. Okay. Do y'all have flying cars now in the future? Okay. In terms of evaluation, fingers were feeling at first not that confident in the beginning, but I just kept like sitting in my visualization in the present and it kept it together. So it could be a little bit of a trust thing with myself. I think my brain is still kind of trapped in thinking of this as something I can't do. It's been a long time. It's been longer in my life that I haven't been able to play the Ibert than I have been able to. So I think my brain is still somewhat trapped in that as well. But anyway, we're going to go back up one section. Thanks, guys. Okay, very good. I am very happy with the visualization, staying in the present. It's also encouraging me to not rush. So we good. The balance of the flute in the right hand is better. Okay, up one other section. Okay. I think I rushed one part, and so the notes came out real wonky. So I'm just going to iron out that part. Yeah, I think my visualization of it was actually rushing. So that was, this time I just made sure that my visualization was not rushing. Yeah. I think I hadn't caught that before, that my, like, just straight up my visualization of the piece was rushing. So I have to make sure that my visualization itself is nice and consistent. Up one section. Okay, also better. I had to restart it because I wasn't visualizing it properly in the beginning. Definitely, I think I tend to, my visualization of some parts are really rushed. So just gonna keep that in mind. All right, up another large section. Trumpet guy, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you to say. I am practicing right now, so you know, there's going to be mistakes and stuff like that. But thank you so much. And Michael, have a wonderful quality time with your grandma. Thank you so much for dropping by. Okay. Visualization, pretty okay. Pretty on point. I would say that I'm still have some trust issues with myself right at the beginning of that. And I may be rushing my visualization there too. So I'm just going to give that another go. I got very distracted by the fact that it went really well. So yeah, I think I am rushing the top bit that I shouldn't be. I should actually let it stretch out a little bit for musicality's sake. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. We are going to do another large section. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right. Pretty okay. There's one spot that I think I messed up my visualization because I panicked and I didn't know which B flat fingering I wanted to do. So I think I just need to be very solid in my decision of what I'm going to do. I am also rushing the visualization there. That's what I'm realizing. There's like, I think I am rushing the transition to the B flat lever. I think I do want to do the B flat lever there for sure. That is way more clean. But I just need to make sure I'm not rushing the way that I'm thinking of it. So, okay. Next section up. Yeah. Okay. One more time. I visualized the wrong thing. Okay, not bad. Hey, Lippity, how are you doing? Are you enjoying? Wait, you told me you got Siegeween yesterday. Is that right? Because I also got Siegeween. It was guaranteed for me. I pulled Chi Chi last, and I don't even remember who I was trying to pull for last time that I lost the 50-50. But oh well. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there's one spot that I want to just clarify my visualization. She works good with Farina. I know. I don't have Farina. And so I'm actually thinking of, because I think Farina is on the same, technically on the same banner. I might end up pulling for Farina. Just because I think that team would be really good. Yeah, it's a big oof. It is a big oof that I don't have Farina. I know. So I think I might rectify that very soon. I was just talking about it with John this morning. So I have 26,000 primos, so I might do it. Okay, so the weirdest thing is I just realized that my visualization really needs to keep track of the triplets. Like I need to feel that bouncy triplet feel. If I don't feel that bouncy triplet feel, it ain't happening. Okay. Okay. Surprisingly difficult to keep track of the triplets on that run. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. Got that triplet run in there. All right. Let's finish this off in the last few minutes we've got here. I ranted too long about sticker shock. CYT, welcome back. This is not an alto flute. I'm just small. And I'm actually really glad you said that because I am actually considering some hand posture things because I am so small compared to the flute. I'm just not saying it completely out loud yet because I am doing a bit of investigation right now. But once my investigation is complete, I will definitely share it with you guys. Anyway, let's finish this up. Not too bad. There's one spot that I think I am rushing my visualization as well. Yeah, right there. I was rushing that visualization. Camera angle also contributes. You know, Lippity, I really appreciate that you are finding reasons why a flute would look gigantic on me And yes, you could say that the camera angle could contribute to it, but I'm just going to straight up tell you, the flute looks gigantic on me in real life too. Okay. I look like a child playing the flute. CYT, you're very tall. Exactly. Like, I'm very small. Okay. In fact, one of the things that someone said to me when they met me at the flute festival, at the Seattle Flute Festival, was, "You're a lot shorter than I like feel like you are." You're a lot shorter than I expected. I'm like, I'm not joking, guys, when I keep telling you that I'm really short. I just don't tell you guys my exact height because that's a little bit of a privacy breach weirdness. But I'm short. Like, I take it all in stride. It's totally fine. I love being short, actually. But it's just that, just so you guys know, like, when I say that I deal with small people problems on the flute, I really mean it. It does look gigantic on me, right? So, I am actually investigating some things to help myself in that regard. Also, the timer just hit 0, but we are going to play around with the very end of the Rapid as Wildfires. Just the very end. Just kind of want to like keep it fresh in my mind. But it was really fun today to rant about flute sticker shock. Flute price sticker shock. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the good luck there for investigating. Yeah, so I'm starting the investigation, and then when I'm ready to share it with you guys, I absolutely will share it with you guys. I just can't really talk about it right now because there's a lot of unknowns at the moment. So yeah, but once that's more settled, I'll share it with you guys. Yeah. Okay, let's just do the very end of the Rapid as Wildfires. Yeah, I think I'm also rushing my visualization there too. We ain't pushing it more than that. Let's just call it for today. I do need to go eat some lunch. Have a little break before I teach this afternoon. Okay, so let's get to cleaning up. Yes, we were ranting about prices while you were out. So mostly what I was ranting about was just how much I now understand what it potentially goes through a parent's mind when they hear about the prices of flutes, especially if you're looking to upgrade. Some parents already think that a really decent beginner model flute is ridiculously expensive, which I don't really blame them. A very decent, well-made beginner model flute can easily cost you $700. Easily. $700 to $1,000 actually. Which, if you think about it, is like, wow, that's a lot of money to spend on a beginner flute for a for your child for whom you do not know if they are actually serious about it. And yeah, I definitely used to be kind of like when I was a kid and I didn't know how budgets worked and I didn't know what kind of monthly expenses my parents had to buy every month, bills, whatever. Like I had no idea that, that like you don't just have money laying around because, like what kid understands that, So I was just explaining the whole budget thing, how monthly expenses work, and how I wish that someone other than my parents told me this when I was younger, because I feel like if I had heard that from my parents, like monthly expenses and blah, 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 one, I would have been bored. And two, I would have maybe more so thought of it as an excuse for them not to support me. At least that's how I would have seen it. And so I think my parents actually made the correct choice, which is not to tell me. Because I don't think I was ready at that point, and especially I was not ready to hear it from them. However, if someone else told me, like someone completely outside of my circle, explained to me what it was that my parents actually pay for every single month, how income works, the fact that you get your income either biweekly or once a month, depending on how your company works, then like, it's like, oh, you only get a certain amount of money in, and then some money goes out to pay for your monthly expenses. And so you only have some left over to save up. This is what people mean by if they say that they're living paycheck to paycheck. What they mean is that everything that's coming in is going right back out to monthly expenses. There ain't no saving up. There is nothing. That's literally what it means by, what it means when people say they're living paycheck to paycheck. It is not a happy existence. You don't want to live like that. Anyone who does live paycheck to paycheck will tell you that it is not a happy life to live. So like, that's why even if you do save, there are still things that you can't afford, even if you have savings, because you need to have, rainy day money, which means emergency funds in case something big breaks down and you have to get it fixed, like your car or like a major appliance, your water heater in the house, stuff like that. So like you have to have a good savings kind of ready to go at any moment in case something breaks down. And that is money that you cannot spend on something like a flute. So, it's I understand it from a parent's perspective, even a parent who does want to be very supportive. I understand it from their perspective that, it is something that you would be very hesitant to put a ton of money into, because you cannot prove to yourself at the moment if your child will actually follow through with committing to such an instrument, right? So that's why I like to encourage those of you who do want to look to prove to your parents that you are actually committed. You want to, like if you're renting a flute, make sure you're practicing at least 3 to 4 times a week. Make sure it's consistent. Make sure that you can demonstrate that you are committed to this. If you can make some pocket money, or if you can, if you're old enough to actually work like a summer job or a part-time job, then do that to save up your own money to purchase an upgrade to your flute, or just straight up purchase a flute. Like, you want to provide hard data to your parents that you are actually committed, that you are actually owning this pursuit of this instrument. If your parents can't tell that you really mean it, then I don't blame them for not wanting to pay. All right? Because, honey, even $700 for a beginner model flute is a whack ton of bunch of money. Okay? Like that is very much money that could pay for, like, multiple months or not even, like, yeah, like multiple months of, like, I don't know, internet, your water bill, you know, your electricity bill, you know, right? So, like, something to think about from a parent's perspective, you know. Will I be doing any requests during my flute reviews? Probably not. I'm just going to put that out there. I don't think I'm in the mental state for that right now. Yeah. CYT, you don't think any of the budget stuff landed until you were out of the house? Same here. Same here. Is when I started to really think about living independently. That's when I started to realize, oh shoot, I have to pay for literally everything. My phone, like even just straight up the like utilities, which is like electricity, water, you know, like all these things that you take for granted, you have to pay for them monthly. Yeah. Same with art supplies. You're also an artist and people think it's crazy. A small tube of paint can be 20. It's all perspective. I don't think 20 for a small tube is too much. Not if it's like high quality stuff, man. Yeah, no, I get it. I feel it. Yeah. You want to go back to 15, Natasha? Your first job when you thought $50 was a fortune. I remember that. I remember getting a check for my first lesson that I taught officially and actually earned money from it. And I was like, I'm rich. And it was like $20. There you go, Nuvo. So CYT, you got a Nuvo because of the sticker shock. Yeah. And the Nuvo is still like that. I have one too. It was gifted to me from one of you guys. But it's like $200. That thing is $200. Like that is a very expensive toy, you know? Yeah. So there you go. There you go. Now time to watch my other stream. I hope you enjoyed. Flutes are yummy. Connor, hello. You're going to be getting an alto and bass flute. That's fantastic. Let us know. I'll let the stream keep going for a little bit while I head on off, but let us know what brand you're getting. Eduardo, I know you're joking, but like, have you seen Team Recorder here on YouTube? She's actually a professional recorder player. So like I know you're joking, but like actually, she's amazing. Yeah. You have good. Hey, Brett, you got a low B solid silver flute back in 1986 for $600. Inflation puts in today's range for the equivalent type of flute. Yep. Inflation is real. Inflation is absolutely real. Lilac, you pulled out a loan for your Platinum Haynes head joint. Yep. There you go. Yep. So any book recommendations between Y and Berberguar? I mean, like, Trevor Y books are great. Berberguar, I'm guessing you're talking about the etudes, right? His etudes are pretty darn good. Yeah. There's lots out there. There's also lots of like public domain stuff now because a lot of that stuff is like really old now. So like if you look around Flute Tunes is actually a great place to look for free etudes. Really clean copies too. They do a good job. Yeah. Oh, wonderful, Connor. Warm up on Chopin etudes. Ooh, very nice. I love it. Yeah. Inflation is very real right now. And if you don't keep up with inflation, like you're literally earning less money. You know, it's crazy. Like I have to inflate my own lesson prices because there's no way, you know. Yeah. Eduardo found the purple ink bedinery. Yes. 1.5K. Yep. That sounds like a pretty decent price for like a very good flute, you know? Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna let you ooh, so it sounds like you got a good deal then, Connor. I'm gonna let you guys chat for a little bit. I need to head off and get myself some lunch. So thank you all so much for joining me today. That was super fun. I had a really great time. Just chatting with you guys and practicing getting stuff done. So yeah, I'm super happy right now. I hope you guys are happy as well. Tomorrow is going to be a really fun stream. We're going to be opening up a box of flutes on that side, and we're just going to be nerds. We're just going to be nerds, and we're going to just have some fun, and we are going to explore you know, with my usual flute review little syllabus that I usually use. So yeah, I love you all so very much. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe. Take care of yourselves, because there's no music without the musician. One last question from Chi Eduardo. Should you buy an old one that has stamp of randomness or a newer one with no stamps? That's completely up to you. Simon, thank you so much for assuming that I might be in an official Genshin Orchestra OST. I am not. Hoyo Mix does not know who I am. Hoyoverse has no idea who I am, nor do they care. I am a very small creator that they really don't care about me. I am just a Genshin fan myself. I am a day one player. And so I am just playing, I'm literally practicing Genshin music for fun. So, but it's very, very high praise that you would ask that if I'm in any official Genshin stuff. But no, I'm not. That's very high praise. Thank you. Okay. I will see you guys later. I'm going to go get my lunch. Love y'all so much. And come back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific, for a really fun flute review. All right? I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.